What is up, guys? Welcome to the video. I really never thought I would be making this video, but here we are. For the sake of being honest and transparent, I'm just gonna go ahead and lay it all out to you guys. This video is about anabolic steroids. Before I really get into this, I want you to understand that I'm not gonna be in this video promoting the use of them. I'm not telling you should go do them. I'm not gonna be telling you really how to use them. All I'm talking about is my experience with them. I'm gonna shed some light on why I used them, why I quit taking them, some of my side effects, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two from this. So, I think in order to paint the entire picture, I need to just start back at the beginning. If you've watched any of my older videos, you probably know my backstory, but I'll give you guys a quick little rundown. I started fitness, I would say, about 5 or 6 years ago. I'm not really sure when the exact time frame was. It was a while back. It was basically after a bad breakup, man. I was with the same girl for like 5 or 6 years, and she was basically like the love of my life at that time. High school sweetheart, yada, yada, yada. Towards the end of our relationship, I got pretty addicted to a MMORPG, Star Wars The Old Republic, and I was playing a lot of video games. Too many video games, if we're being real. Basically, she left me, and at that time, I was left with nothing. I just had this like video game, and I had really nothing. I was logging in every single day to play. For anybody in the audience that's ever dealt with a video game addiction, man, some of you are probably laughing about that, but that is a real thing. So for the first time in years at this point, I was single, and I didn't really have a social life. I didn't really have any friends. I didn't really have anywhere I was going or doing anything. And one of the first thoughts I had was, hey man, let's join a gym. And I still remember the first day I went in there to lift, and I lifted with my brother Cam. He even commented on how skinny and how weak I had gotten, right? I'll put a picture right here, man. This was basically me at my skinniest before I ever lifted or anything. As you can see, I don't have any muscle on me at all. I basically went balls to the wall with the gym. I just started going 5, 6 days a week. And I remember like I first started following a meal plan, and it was like 4 weeks into it, one that I created, and I could start to see abs. And for me, I was the type in my head where I never thought I could have abs. I had these dreams that I wanted to step on stage and I wanted to be big, and I'm seeing all these guys in the gym that are massive, right? And they're cut and they're lean, pushing all sorts of weight. And when I talk to them, they're basically like, diet is the most important thing. Keep dieting, keep training, and you're gonna get there. And it seemed like no matter how hard I worked, I would kind of reach a certain point. My body didn't want to really get any bigger, didn't really want to get any leaner, and I kind of just like, I don't want to say plateaued, but it was like I wasn't getting the results these other guys were getting. Oh, I need some water. Much better. And keep in mind, at this point, I had no idea what steroids were. I had no idea that really a lot of people were taking them. And this is something I want to tell you guys right now, is like once you realize what steroids are and you realize like how prevalent they really are, you find out that a lot of people are taking them and a lot of people lie about taking them. And even guys you see in your gym that aren't even necessarily in the best shape might still be taking them. And I would say that's true about every gym I've ever been to. And once you learn it's a thing and you can talk to people about it, people start to be a lot more open. And I remember I was in the locker room one day. I told a guy I wanted to do a show, and he was getting ready to do a show, and he asked me what I planned on taking for it. And I was like, well, you know, I got my creatine, I got branched chain aminos, whatever. And he's like, wait, so you're not taking any steroids or anything like that? And I was kind of like taken aback by it, and I was like, no, you know? Because at that point, everybody's lying to me, telling me that they're natural, right? And he kind of broke it down for me, and he's like, hey man, if you ever need anything, I got you, yada, 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 yada. I still remember this to this day. I got talked into it. I spent quite a bit of money getting everything I needed. I got it, and then I was too scared to actually do it, and I ended up getting rid of it. I ended up cutting down, doing my first ever photo shoot I had ever did. I'll put some pictures in it right here, and I did this completely 100% natural. Got lean, made my own diet, I grinded 40 minutes of cardio a day, did everything, lost tons of muscle, lost tons of size, and I remember just being like disappointed overall in like how hard I worked and how much effort I put into it, and I didn't really get out of it what I thought. Like no matter how hard I tried, when I would diet, I was just losing muscle, and it just wasn't like I wasn't keeping that full hard look that some of these other guys were. And it was around this time that I met Ank and the original Team Dry Scoop. I started hanging out with those guys all the time. And me, I mean, right now I'm lean, but I only weigh like $170. These guys are walking around over 200, easy, way stronger than me, way bigger than me, and I always felt like the little guy in the group. And that's just me being real. I'm not trying to put anybody on blast. We'll say he did give me permission to this. Ankram does take steroids, and he's very knowledgeable on it. Linked up with him, and he's like, hey man, this is something I've been doing for a while. I know what I'm doing. It's safe, it's this, it's that. I was like, all right, why not? I did it. For those of you wondering what it feels like to actually be on something, basically you're taking the natural hormones your body produces and you're amplifying those to the extreme. Most important one being testosterone, right? That is the one hormone responsible for how we build our muscle, how we store our fat. There's metabolic repercussions if it drops low, if it goes high. And basically what you do when you are taking something like that is you're taking all those and just optimizing them, right? So your body's able to build more muscle, burn more fat, your resting metabolic rate goes up. And I remember probably the biggest difference I had overall, besides strength, because I went from pressing 225 on flat bench for like 12, and I was able to hit it 21 times in my prime. But it was just like always having a pump. That was the biggest thing I remember, like always having a pump. It was like no matter what, like now I'm a completely different guy. If I'm in the gym and I'm training my butt off and I get a pump, I look completely different than I do right now just sitting. But when I was on stuff, I was always pumped, always vascular. It was like I could carry in the groceries and I got a sick pump everywhere. And I could also eat whatever I wanted, and I really didn't seem to gain too much weight. I did my first cycle for 12 weeks, gained some strength, gained some size, felt bigger overall. The biggest change I would say I noticed was in my back, chest, and in my shoulders. Shoulders especially. Shoulders is that one thing, if your shoulders aren't popping out, you don't really look that big, right? And when you're on something, for some reason, shoulders, especially for me, was the one thing. They were always pumped and always popped. It made me just look wider. And on top of that, I gained probably 15 to 20 pounds off of that first one. And I remember coming off of it and I lost almost all of it. I would say I kept maybe like 5 pounds. Now you can chalk that to genetics, you can chalk that to me not doing it right, whatever. And this was all before I ever started YouTube, so keep that in mind as well. So moving forward, I decided to step it up. The first thing I did was pretty basic, and from then on, I wanted to go a little more advanced. I want to be bigger. I want to be as big as these guys. I want to really push it. So I decided to kind of go balls to the wall for the second one, and I stacked a ton of compounds together and really just went for it with the thought that I was going to do this and I was just going to be this massive dude at the end of it, right? I did 20 weeks straight, and I remember coming off of it, and I didn't even really make the gains that I made from the first one. After being on for 20 weeks and not seeing what I wanted, I think I made one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made, and I don't want to say that it was really a mistake that got me here, and I don't believe there are mistakes, only lessons to be learned from them, right? But at that point, I decided I wasn't going to come off. I was just going to stay on all the time. Now, call me stupid, call me whatever, but this was right when I was thinking about starting YouTube, and I'm looking at the state of the fitness industry, and I'm seeing all these big dudes, I'm seeing all these people that are shredded all the time, and in my head, I really believed that I had to be bigger, I had to be stronger, I had to be all these things to even have a chance at succeeding on this platform. And that's just real. I get people all the time that comment saying my voice has changed, I look different, like I'm getting too skinny right now. And to be completely honest, a lot of what you see in these older videos, I'll put some up right now, you can see right here, look how big my face is, right? There's videos where I am way leaner than I am right now, and my face is still twice the size. And I'm gonna chalk that up to where I stayed on for so long and my estrogen and hormones got so out of control that it just gave me this like puffy look all the time. And even when I would gain weight, I looked terrible. None of you guys can look at some of these older pictures of me, my face, how big it was, and just overall how I looked and not tell me that this is not an improvement. And the thing is like I really believed in my head at that time that I needed this. Like I had to have it if I was gonna hang with everybody else and I was gonna be successful in the fitness industry. And I was putting up with myself personally a ton of side effects, man. Acne being the worst one, and it wasn't even back acne or body acne. I had a little bit of that, but it was face acne, man. Some of these scars I got are a permanent result of staying on that. I had them from high school, but it got way worse when I was on for a while. So if you're prone to acne, I'm just gonna tell you right now, that may not be the best option for you, but I will say I didn't notice it when I was doing short little things. It was only after I was on for a long time. As far as benefits go, I'm gonna go ahead and just put some clips in right here. Like you're gonna be able to see how I used to look, and I would look like this all the time. You can see my shoulders, my back, my chest. When I was lean, I was just so much more full. Anybody that tells you this stuff doesn't work is lying to you, because it definitely works. And I could train all the time. I never seemed tired. I never really got sore. It was almost like my body was just recovering at a crazy rate. And overall, for what it was supposed to do, it really worked. But where I ran into trouble was my body just did not like it. I remember going through periods where like I would be laying in bed at night and I was so hot and so sweaty I could not sleep. I'm waking up like 7 times a night. Acne's out of control. I hate editing videos of myself because all I'm seeing is new pimples in every other video. And I had a really unhealthy relationship with it because I didn't really use it as a tool in how it was supposed to be used. I just used it because I thought it was something I needed. I thought that in order to be successful, I had to have it. I thought no one would watch my channel if I wasn't this big mass monster. Now on top of that, I'm surrounding myself with people that are way bigger than me, way stronger, and it's like in my head, I'm just like, I don't want to be the little guy, you know? So I spent 2 years bouncing around, just literally like never, ever, ever coming off. Dropping my dosages down, bringing them back up. Dropping them down, bringing them back up. And I can't remember the exact point I stopped taking everything. I want to say it was maybe 8 or 9 months ago. I was just tired of the side effects, man. Tired of not being able to sleep, and I don't know, I felt bad, feeling like I needed to rely on something. So I decided to come off of everything, and that was completely terrifying. There's stories of if you're on for so long, and that's what I was worried about, and one of the reasons I stayed on so long was because there's a risk that when you come off after being on for so long that your body never starts really working the same way it used to, and you can be even worse off when you come off, and that's what I was terrified about. And I'm not gonna lie, those first 3 or 4 months were not fun at all. Your body's all out of whack. It hasn't had to produce hormones in a very long time, and I would say mentally and just everywhere I was kind of in a dark place. It was just like, I don't know, I spent 2 years feeling a certain way, and then like I start losing my strength, I start losing size, I start losing weight but not getting leaner. It's like my body was more prevalent to store fat, and it just was not a good time all around. But as of now, I feel great. I gave it some time. I feel like time heals everything, and I'm completely off of everything. And I would say now I am in one of the best shapes of my life as far as mentally and physically combined, right? I'm not taking anything. My diet's good. I'm consistently staying lean. I feel strong in the gym for where I'm at, and overall I'm good, but I would be lying to you if I said I didn't miss walking around 20 pounds heavier than I am, more pumped, more vascular, stronger, and just a bigger dude in general. I don't know, for me, like, the trade-off was just not worth it. Like, I got too many side effects, and I wasn't even really doing it for me because I wanted my body to be better, if that makes sense. I was doing it because I felt I needed to be successful, and I think that's really where I messed up. I just wasn't doing it for the right reason. And I do want to say this right now. I have zero problems with anybody taking steroids, and if you are competing with chances of making it big and you really want to bring your best to the table, like, it's almost a necessity. And a lot of people online especially, man, you're watching these people on Instagram, you're seeing people on YouTube that are telling you they're 100% natural and all this stuff. I can't speak on their validity. All I'm saying is that a lot of people lie about this, and no one really wants to talk about it, man. I promise you, at your gym, there's people taking stuff that you would have no idea are really doing anything, and that's just real. And it ain't my decision to tell anybody what they can do with their body. I feel like, heck, your body, you do with it what you want. All I'm gonna say is that if you are gonna do it, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, because I don't feel like I did, and that's just the truth. For anyone out there, if you have it in your head that you maybe want to do something, I'm just gonna tell you, do your research, do it safe, do it smart, take every precaution you can, make sure you know what you're getting into before you get into it, and understand what side effects can occur. Because when I was on for those 2 years, I didn't even notice how big my face had got. I didn't even notice that I wasn't sleeping good. Like, I knew I was, but I didn't realize why. And it wasn't until I fully just came off everything that I was like, wow, this is what normal feels like again. And that's it. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. Everything you go through in life is like a page in your book, right? It's getting you to that final chapter, and I learned a ton from it. I really did. So here we are. For the sake of being honest, guys, that is where we're at with it. I know we probably have some younger people in the audience, and I just do want to say, if you are currently right now trying to build your best body, really trying to get lean, trying to do anything, you absolutely do not need anabolic steroids to do it. Diet and training are still the most important parts. And I will tell you that after seeing quite a bit of people hop on things, I've seen guys hop on cycles of steroids and honestly come away from it looking worse than they did at the start. And that's just being 100% real. It really ultimately all comes down to diet and training. The other stuff, you can basically look at it as a crazy supplement. But without the initial foundation of training or diet, you're still not really going to get anywhere. Personally, don't have any problem with it. I know other people feel the same way, but it is literally everywhere, like I said earlier. Anybody on stage at the Olympia, anybody on stage at any of these big competitions that are winning are most likely on it. And understand too how much of an important role genetics plays into everything. Appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed this, smash that thumbs up button. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about steroids? What do you think about maybe some of the stuff I dealt with? Like I said, I did not do it the smartest way. Let me know down below. Always love hearing from you guys. And also, the support on the music has been incredible. You guys are, for real, amazing. I never thought recording some music in my free time in a bedroom upstairs would get the response that it's gotten, but I do appreciate it, guys. I really do. I actually just finished another one, recorded it in about 2 hours, and I made a song called Make It, basically about working your butt off for all these things you think are gonna make you happy. You get there and you realize that's really not the case. Called Make It.
When they ask what I miss the most, I'ma tell them back when I was broke. Back when there wasn't a care in the world. Back when I had my favorite girl. Back before I watched it burn. Back when I had my shit together. Back when I didn't mind the weather. Back in the day when I just knew better. Fuck it all, give me one more line. Man, it's a party all the time. Gotta drown these sorrows of mine. Man, you know these beggars can choose. Give me something I can't lose. Band-aid on a gaping wound. Spending all my time getting faded. Is this how it feels when you make it? I don't even know what day it is. Is this how it feels when you make it? Find your happiness in a bracelet. Is this how it feels when you make it? Give me one more shot, I can take it. Is this how it feels when you make it? I guess so.
Mom,
we made it.
Yep. Very personal song to me, just kind of putting it out there, guys. Available on Apple Music, available on SoundCloud. I'm going to link it down in the description below. It should be on Spotify the next few days. Like I said, appreciate support from all you guys. For those of you that are listening to my music, man, I put my heart and my soul into every song I make. And that's real, man. It's been like a diary for me, and I love it. Like I said, appreciate all you guys. Smash that thumbs up button, comment down below. And as always, don't forget to smile, remain positive, and pay someone a compliment, because you never know whose day you can make it better. With that, we're out here. It's been a Remington James production. I will see you fine, ladies and gentlemen, at the next video. See you guys. Whew. Never thought I'd make this video. That's real.